So here's the folder with all the information. My business card. So good morning. My name is YiHua. I'm from YiHuaMVI Consultancy. I'm here today to present to you the research that I've done on your company. So Jeff, as we all know, Gaotao Production is a video production company founded in 2018. It's currently producing advertising videos on Facebook, but the vision is to become Malaysia's top Chinese variety show producer. Being such a young company, it has the common problem of low income. And not only that, I've also identified other problems within the company. So, low income is the reason why the company cannot afford to hire a professional production crew. And that caused the video output to be low, and that negatively affects the brand exposure. Because when Facebook users don't see your uploads very often, they will forget about you. And that is also why the clients will negotiate for lower advertising fees because they are not confident in your brand yet. And that leads all the way back to low income. So I know it's kind of frustrating to see that there's so many issues in the company, but fret not. The root cause here is actually the lack of capital. But luckily, this is an open problem with many solutions. So we want to move forwards to the goal of producing sustainable variety show, right? So how do we move from this depressive state to the desired new reality that we want to go? Well, I propose to you the capital expansion strategy. It includes 3 simple steps. First, approach a professional business consultant to procure a business report as well as a pitch deck. Second, apply an SME loan from bank. The bank I suggest you is YiHuaMVI Bank because it's one of the very few banks that doesn't have a requirement of company age. So, third step is using the business report and pitch deck to pitch to a group of angel investors on Biz Angel Network. This strategy that I propose is suitable, acceptable, and feasible. It is suitable because it is in line with the aim of the company by providing the working capital, allowing it to hire a professional production crew, and consequently producing variety show. It is also in line with the trend of SME being a bigger and bigger contributor to national GDP. Not only that, there are funds available. Bank Negara Malaysia has, as April 2019, have 9.1 billion ringgit of funds allocated, and there are still 3.3 billion of funds available. It is also acceptable to the stakeholders in the company. So for you, Jeff, I believe you're happy to see the problem solved. And as for the bank and investors, this project use high return. And for the clients, they were happy to accept it because they'll be getting higher product and service quality. Last but not least, for the community, this project creates more job opportunities and also benefit to those in need through the Life Makeover series. Now this project is feasible because, Jeff, you only have to invest 12,080 ringgit, but the return before minusing the cost is nearly 3.2 million. And as for the angel investors, their investment of 500,000 will give them a return of nearly 2.6 million before minusing cost. This strategy will increase the monthly revenue by 13 times from 15,000 to 195,000. And after minusing the cost of hiring 6 more production crew, it will still be profitable. Now, if you look into the folder I've given you, you will see the work breakdown structure as well as the Gantt chart that will detail the timeline of this project. So this project will be split into 4 phases, and it will start in 6th January. So the first phase, the application phase, you will first approach the business consultant to buy a business report on your company, as well as applying a loan from a bank and opening an account on Biz Angel Network. And then once you have got the report and the pitch deck, you can pitch to the angel investors. So when it comes to the second step, is when you have already received the loan as well as the investment. Then you will start to hire for employees. I suggest you to use LinkedIn because not only is a good place to hire employees, it will also act as a platform for your clients to endorse your brand by leaving positive reviews. From that way, you can slowly build your brand reputation and then negotiate for higher pricing from your future clients. In the third phase, production phase, you will give on-the-job training to the hired employees, and at the same time, you will have to find clients through either the ad agency, your own connection, or even your past clients. Well then, you have to have a brainstorming session with your team to come up with a plan for the production. In phase 4, you will then approach and meet with your client to finalize the video content as well as the ad placement in the variety show. After that, you will start to shoot the variety show, and then when your first episode is being produced, you will add it on Facebook and do a performance review of your company and inform back to your angel investors. I suggest you to meet with your angel investors face-to-face through a board meeting every 2 months, but the final say will be up to the discussion between you and them. So the last phase will actually last more than 2 weeks because it is a repeated and ongoing process of finalizing with client, shooting and airing, and then reviewing back to the angel investors. So there are no projects that comes without risk. The first risk here is the no clients risk. And if you realize, it is arranged from smallest to biggest in terms of risk. For the no client risk, which is unlikely to happen, but if really there's no client who wants to advertise on the variety show, you can reduce the advertising fee to attract clients. And then second risk is blank declining the loan, which is also not likely, but if happens, you can apply from another bank. For the third risk, there could be possible mistakes on the business report. To prevent that from happening, I encourage you to work closely with the business consultant. And if you have already received the report and you see that there are inaccuracy or errors, contact immediately with the business consultant to amend it. Because if it's not amended, it will affect your pitch to the angel investors, which brings us to the fourth biggest risk, is the angel investors refusing to invest. It is not very likely, but if it does happen, you have to ask them why do they refuse to invest and improve from that aspect before you pitch to another group of angel investors. So maybe you might wonder, how can you monitor this process to make sure that you are on track? You can look at it from 3 different perspectives. In terms of the production crew, within the first month, you will have hired 2 employees to help you, namely the video editor and the videographer, which you very much need right now. And then by the end of second month, you have hired additional 4, in total 6 production crew to help you with the variety show. In terms of revenue, within the first month, your monthly revenue will be 19,500 from the additional advertising videos that you can produce with the help of these 2 people. And by the second month onwards, you'll be starting producing and airing the episodes already, so the revenue will be 195,000. In terms of your brand exposure, currently you have 10,000 followers on the Facebook page. By the first month, you have an increase of 2,000 followers. And by the second month, due to the airing of the variety show, you gain 30k of followers. And by the end of the year, the number will be 100,000 followers because the variety show would have gained more and more famous and traction. So if you like what you hear and you want to really implement this, we can discuss more in detail when we look into the research report that I've given you. If you have any question right now, I will be very happy to answer them.
Assuming there is a delay from angel investor, right? There is a delay, like angel investor refuse to invest, so it's like it will affect the timeline, right, of implementing. So it's like, is there any so how long do you estimate it will affect your organization, and how fast can you get another investor?
I believe the process will be maybe maximum 2 weeks in delay, because the investors, when they don't want to invest, they will tell you straight away. And you can just meet with them face to face and get the problem identified on the day itself. Then maybe it will take, it depends on what the problem is, where you can improve on. But I think by 2 weeks time, you can up and ready to pitch to another investors.
Okay, you have mentioned about applying for loan from the bank and pitching to angel investors. My question is, why can't we resort to just using one of them to finance? Why do you need both?
Oh, because SME loan is so widely available in Malaysia, and why want to just focus on one strategy where you can expand and use all the resources that you can get?
But that will also mean that your cost will be higher because you've taken a loan, so you've got to pay interest. Now the other thing is when you have angel investors in, you not just have to update them, they will also want to have a say in the business decision, so they could also interfere. So you have these problems there. So I'm just wondering, do you need to go with both or can you go with just one?
Having to go with both is you can expand more, because the proposed loan that I've given here is 50,000 from the bank, but there's always an option to go higher. And I stand my point, if you want to really expand your company, because it's so small and you want to expand fast, it's better you take more strategy than just focusing on one in case one doesn't work. Yeah.
And you mentioned about expanding fast. Is it possible that if you expand fast, it might just expand too fast and you're not able to control the situation?
That risk is uncalculated yet. I'll probably go back to you once I've already done the analysis on it.